Hi everyone. In this session, Valerie was guided to a place in the stars where she tends to revisit from time to time, and you'll hear her journey through her higher self. And her oversouling entity answered a few questions, such as what is the new earth? And are the laws of creation changing? So the new earth arises as more and more people discover that their main purpose is to bring the light of consciousness onto the earth and to create the reality that we want to experience and embody more unconditional love to become our higher selves. So, with that in mind, I have attached an invocation or decree, which you can say every day or whenever you're called to, and it's to create your world through divine love. And you can find it in the description below as a PDF. So, until then, enjoy. But today, what we're going to do is we're going to take sweet Valerie to a cosmic, galactic homeland, maybe.
Crystals grow here, or yeah, there's a lot of crystals.
Are there clear crystals? And how big are these crystals?
They're all over. They grow like plants, like a forest,
Mm-hmm.
but instead of plants and trees, it's crystals. There's different types, like colors. They're not made out of exactly the same materials as the crystals we're used to now. Some are clear, like quartz, but they're not quartz, but they look like quartz. And then some are like pastel colors.
And how do you feel in this environment?
I like it. I love the crystal.
How do you look like?
I don't look like anything, just energy.
Just energy.
But yeah, it's not like a physical body. I could have a physical body or look like I have a physical body, but I'm just like floating around the crystal.
Is this the place where you spend most of your time when you're not incarnate on Earth?
No, this is this is one of my favorite places
And why is that?
because I love the crystals.
So, do these crystals provide you with an upliftment of energy, frequency, healing? What is it that they're providing you now?
It's not like they give you anything, they just are. And then like you can just exist with them. Their presence is enough. Some use them for energy, but that's not why I like them. I just like being around them and seeing them.
So, can anyone travel to this place in their dream state?
Yeah, everybody is not welcome.
Everybody's not welcomed.
No, because some people are destructive. So if you're destructive, you can't find it.
When you mean destructive, what do you mean by that?
Think that the crystals have some kind of materialistic value, and then you want to destroy them for the materialistic value. So
People.
those people, or not people, just beings can't find this place. You can only find it if you're harmless,
If your intentions are pure.
not just intention, action.
Your actions.
because sometimes actions don't match the intention.
Actions don't meet your intentions. Good point.
So you can have good intentions, but still cause harm. If you cause harm, you can't find its place. The crystals know they're sentient, so they know who is and what energies or beings are destructive and they can't be found.
Is there anything else that you want to share with us about this beautiful crystal place?
What I'm seeing now, there's tiny clusters.
They're what?
There are all sizes, like very tiny clusters
Mm-hmm.
to very large to like caves and mountainside, all sizes. But it's hard to quantify a size because what do you compare it to? Not like this place doesn't have a measuring stick,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not physical.
Who am I speaking with?
Valerie's whole self.
Did you say Valerie's whole self?
Yes,
Beautiful. Thank you. And the first question is, what is the new earth?
it's when humans start to change their belief and perspective to see more than the physical that they are used to and start to fully understand the God part of them and their connection to all life and energy.
Thank you for that. So what advice would you like to give, to reach the new earth? You have to change your belief system?
You don't have to. Everybody doesn't have to
Mm-hmm.
because it's whatever you do is fine. When you are in physical human form and you are part of a culture that places value on production, then humans think they're supposed to be productive. And then you think that higher consciousness is like a competition to get to it, like a race. That's
Right, right.
part of
But
the human belief. Like, I
mm,
have to achieve a certain level of spirituality or consciousness. For some people, that's fine. They can do that if they want to.
right.
But for some people, they are just experiencing life. That's all. It's
That's it.
not a race. It's not a competition for levels of anything.
Mm-hmm.
All fine. You
It's just
don't
about
need a
experiencing everything.
you don't need a purpose all the time. Sometimes you just exist and experience existing, and that's okay.
Just enjoy it.
Yeah, but there's bad things too,
Such
but
as?
that's part of the experience.
Mm-hmm.
Like losing someone, death, pain. It's just experience. You just experience life. For other people who are very competitive, people are competitive about lots of things. Like some people think they have to have the best career or the best house, and some people think they have to have the best God or the best soul or whatever. It
Right.
doesn't really matter because it all exists now. People are racing to become ascended. You're already ascended. If you weren't ascended already, you wouldn't be here. But you don't know that because you forget everything here. So you get in a race to go to different levels of consciousness.
There's different aspects of us, like we're multidimensional beings. So an aspect of us is already ascended. Another aspect of us, is in the dragon realm or whatever it may be. And then
Yeah,
this is just
but
one.
you couldn't do any of this if you weren't ascended.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't have to race to be what you already are. Just experience it.
Just experience it.
But new earth is not new. It's here. It just has always been here. Some people realized it, but they didn't call it new earth. It's just a different state of awareness.
Mm-hmm. What is Valerie's mission? Does she have a mission? Maybe that's not the right word.
We both are in a culture that is competitive. In this existence, you and Valerie were taught that you should try to achieve things, like get an education,
Mm-hmm.
be a good person, try to help people. So that became your purpose, her purpose, and your purpose. But it does not have to be. That's what you were taught and you came to adopt as part of your belief system in this life. But it does not have to be that way. You don't have to help anybody if you don't want to. You can just help yourself.
Exactly. Sometimes we forget to help ourselves, right?
You can have a mission or a purpose or not have a purpose. It's okay either way. But she and you are doing what you want to do. There's not a big spirit in the sky with a clipboard checking things off for you. Nobody's doing that. It's you. You
Mm-hmm.
experience what you want to experience.
Right.
So if you want your mission to be of service to help other people, then that's fine. And if you change and decide you don't want to help anybody, that's fine too. Doesn't make you a bad person and it doesn't make you superior to help people.
That's true. Is the laws of creation changing?
No, not changing. Nothing is changing. Your perception is changing. The laws don't change. Your perception
Good point.
of the laws and your ability to perceive might change, but the laws don't change. What you see has been here all along. It may be that you are just now developing the ability to see whatever it is that you're talking about in creation, but it was there all along.
Now, this Dolores Cannon had mentioned about, the three waivers. Is there really like the hybrid wave?
It doesn't matter. This is another question that is tied to competition. The belief that there are different levels trying to propel human existence in a certain direction is based in the idea of competition. Like there's a spiritual evolutionary race to propel man into some future existence. Everything that is has already happened all now. The perceptions of past, present, and future exist to help humans cope in this life. If you think of time as a spiral, not linear. So having a first wave, second wave, third wave, indigo, children, all of those labels are related to a perception of linear time and evolution. You're experiencing something that is already happening in a time spiral that is collapsed in on itself. I don't know if I answered your question.
Meg, you did answer the question. Because everything is all happening now. There is no competition in each of the wave, if you will. Reading a few of the books, and they were saying that the children now that are coming in, and they're much more intuitive and much more awake than we have.
No, children have always been intuitive, but depending on the society and the generation that they were born into, they were not allowed to express it. When I said that things have always been this way, what has changed is the ability to perceive it.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing with the children. Children have always been
There was
intuitive
that.
and perceptive, but adults have not always been able to perceive it. And so the intuition and perception of children was punished and cut off and stopped. It wasn't that the children weren't perceptive. Nobody would listen to them. What has changed is the adult perception
That's right.
of the children.
Exactly. We're being much more open to this, and so we're
The
seeing it
chil-
so differently.
So the children are not changing.
The children
Children have
doesn't change.
always been
Mm-hmm.
brilliant, beautiful, connected. They have always been that way. But
Yeah.
they are not, but you're not always welcomed into a family that will accept it.
Now that we're being more open and we're changing our perception of it, accept their gift.
Don't accept the gifts. Adults are not maybe less likely to stop,
Mm-hmm.
try to destroy them,
Mm-hmm.
but they don't just accept the gifts. Many parents are less likely to inhibit their children,
Inhibit.
not because they accept and just want their child to experience what their life is, but because they think that those gifts,
Mm-hmm.
and not gifts, everybody has them, but I'll call them gifts because
Mm-hmm.
that's
Mm-hmm.
what people think they are, because those gifts will get them something or get them somewhere or help in human evolution. That's not the same as just accepting a child experience life. So if I have a child who is very perceptive of the world and in touch with their spirit nature and God that's inside of them, I can, on the one hand, just let the child be and experience the world. But what some parents do is they acknowledge what's happening only because they think that makes their child special
Mm.
and because they are in competition to have the best child and their child is so special
So we're back to
that
competition.
it will help the human race evolve rather than just letting the child experience.
So how do you see the world in 4 years?
More of the same.
Still separation?
Yeah. Most humans are very comfortable experiencing separation
Hmm.
identities.
Is there anything as a collective that we can do?
You are very competitive too.
I'm competitive, you said?
Yes.
I can't be.
You want to help humans evolve.
No, not from, me, but anybody else who's listening.
Fine. But some humans are just fine the way they are.
The way they are. That's fine. Okay.
The questions about the future,
Mm-hmm.
it depends on your perspectives. For the people who believe in multiple timelines, there are probabilities that change from moment to moment across multiple timelines. For those who don't believe in multiple timelines, it's all now.
Mm-hmm.
You took a memory and brought it to the present, so it's
Mm-hmm.
now. And the same with the future. You take an idea or imagination or future memory and bring it to the now so you can interact with it as a memory. It's still now.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you coming along and answering a few of these unexpected questions.
Fine.
So we're going
Is
to
there
bring you
anything
back.
when you're saying, okay, let's come back now, up, 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 and then it just felt like all this tension that was in here
Just
like
leave.
went away.
Wow. And how do you feel when you go under?
I feel fine. I'm letting another side of myself have the floor. And
Right. And your body, I mean, how does it feel?
I don't feel any tension anywhere except here.
Interesting. And you know what? I have
But
a
I didn't
question
know.
though. So when your I am presence came through your whole self, are you seeing, feeling just everything around? I mean, how are you getting the information?
Visual, like almost a dream pictures, like
Like a picture. Hmm.
images. Some of it just auditory, and then the words just come. But it feels like physically. Sometimes the words want to come out, but I feel like I'm dragging, like I'm talking through mud almost.
It's like, oh.
Yeah, feels like there's a bit of a lag between what's being said
Hmm.
and my physical response and ability to be able to get it out.
I guess your I am presence is saying, girl, we need to do a lot more practice, okay? We're going to get this. There's not going to be any more lag time here. No.
Tell me about your experience with the crystal.
Well, someone did the same thing. Someone had regressed me, and I saw myself in this beautiful crystal place because I remember saying that there's other places like this. I did see
Uh-huh.
these beautiful large crystals, and I must have been about 7 or 8 feet tall, and I was translucent, and these crystals were even taller than me. They were clear. I don't know if I said if I was in the seventh or ninth dimension. I felt my whole body just like, because it was so high.
Mm-hmm.
And then I saw these little like Tinkerbells,
Yeah.
and they were like what they were considered their animals,
Oh, okay.
in human form. Everything was all crystal. And
Mm-hmm.
what I was saying is that our bodies have been changing for a while now from carbon based to
Mm-hmm.
crystalline based.
Yeah.
And so I guess that's the reason why I went there, because it was just upgrading.
Mm-hmm.
I felt the whole body. It was very
Cool.
interesting.
But
So
then
how
it
did you
came to
feel?
me like if you wanted form, you could create it. But I guess in that moment, I didn't
Mm,
want it or need it. I saw almost the outline of a hand.
mm,
And then it came to me like you could create that if you wanted to. And then it went away. And then it was like, but why? You don't need to. You're just hanging out with your friends.
Did you feel other energy around you when you were there?
From the crystals.
From the crystals, but no
Those
other,
all from the crystals.
all from the crystals. Okay.
Yeah. There weren't any other beings.
Only if you put
I
that
mean,
light.
there were like nature structures,
Mm-hmm.
like hillsides and mountains, but it was where the crystals were growing or living.
Must be beautiful. Sounds beautiful.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Like a
Hmm.
crystal planet, I guess.
Oh my God, but I enjoy the new earth. There's been other people, talking about it. It's been for years.
Yes, yeah.
For
I
years.
remember hearing about people talking about the new Earth like
It's a
20 years ago.
destination, but
That was interesting.
it was.
Like, it's not something we have to work for to get to.
No.
It already happened. We're
Mm,
just experiencing it, but we don't know that, so we think we're working toward it. So how do you
exactly.
then present that information? Well, if you present it in stages, like maybe
Linear time,
people
right?
can digest it
Mhm.
better, right?
Yeah,
Remember, she didn't go into trance. She was getting information from other people.
that's right.
And so it was also through that filter.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's all they presented.
Mm-hmm.
And this is probably the sociologist part of me. Um, the baby boomers as a generation did play a role in nuclear disarmament,
Mm-hmm.
saying no, do not want to produce more wars
Mm-hmm.
because they were the Vietnam War generation
Mm-hmm.
and the free love kind of hippie generation. So
I can
I see how somebody could say, okay, these changes tend to happen generationally, and then to connect that to spirituality by
No, I
saying,
can see that. I can
this
see.
wave and this wave. And
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it makes sense.
No, it does make sense. There is no distinction between each wave. We all come here to experience, and it goes back to the competitive mindset once again.
Especially Western culture, we're taught to think of things in a linear fashion.
Mhm.
And so if someone just pops in saying, there's no past and there's no future, there's only now. And if you try to consider time on a cosmic scale, it's circular. People would just go, what are you talking about? Where's your lithium? It's
You know?
really interesting because someone else had said something to me about ascension and working toward ascension. I was in trance and I said, you're already ascended. They laughed at me. Okay, you don't believe it. But they were of the mindset that it's something that they're here to work toward, as opposed to that's already happened. Now you're just experiencing it from a different perspective.
That's right.
Yeah, I still don't think that person really believes me. Very wedded to the idea that it's something that will come
There's a goal in
later.
mind.
Yeah, that will come later.
We're so multidimensional. Everything is happening now.
Mm-hmm. No wonder you're tired, right?
See, that's what I'm saying. I go to sleep and I'm like, what the bleep? Even when I go to sleep, I'm working. I'm like, can I?
No. It's true. Roaming crystal planets, living multiple lifetimes. Like, geez, I thought this lifetime was hard. 12 more?
Honestly, this is like, we're here to experience this, the material world, feeling, you know, speaking and eating and drinking and
the not so great stuff too.
and others, right.
Yeah. The crying and the PTSD, anxiety, and all of that. We don't necessarily have to stay enmeshed in any one of those. All of the emotions that we feel are transitory. They come and they go.
They come and they go. Exactly. Many of us, and they were saying, oh, I don't want to come back. This is it. You know, Earth is so hard. I'd rather, because they're usually up in the clouds anyway. I was the only one that said, are you kidding me? I want to come back. I would love to come back in 10,000 years or 5,000 years. Why not? I want to see what was created. Why wouldn't I want to come back?
I think it might have been in one of the surrogate sessions we did where that came up. The message that came through was everybody says that. Like when they're here, they say, I can't wait to leave. This is so terrible. This is horrible. I can't wait to leave. And then when they're on the other side, they're like, oh, I can't wait to go back. It's so exciting. I want to see what's going to happen. Like, this is the best game in town. And then they get here and they're like, this sucks. I want to leave. I hate it here.
Not me.
So like when your human side is like that, I'm like, oh, I can't wait. Your whole self or your higher self is like, oh, really? we know how this goes.
You're the one who wanted to come here. Come on. Not me. I always tell them, guys, I love it here. I'm coming back. They're like, oh, yeah, we got a winner. She's a doozy. Like, who am I speaking with?
Yeah, because it was distinct that not a higher, because there was part of like the language part wanted to say higher self, but then the message was not higher. It's the entirety. There's no higher. There's no lower. It's just whole. It's all one. That's why it came out like that.
Yeah, that was interesting.
That here is like a fractal of the whole. It's not less than or lower, just of another piece of the bigger piece.
I love it.
I like the explanation of the children, and that children aren't more perceptive. It's just adults are being more open about allowing.
That's great.
That was cool. Those kids have always been brilliant.
Like I said, I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
I appreciate you too.
Have a good night.
I will. You too. Take care.
Right, thank you.
Bye.